Aim for the bushes? Yeah, aim for the bushes. Hey, but welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm SlayerMathis. Last time we got set up for the Ascension Quest. This time we're doing the Ascension Quest.
What the spark's all this?
What are these monsters doing here?
What's going on?
Why, little Juniper? You're late.
Console.
You know I can't abide tardiness. Too much fun and games, is it? Ha! Life is not a bed of roses, my dear. You must be aware of that, surely.
What are you after?
My. Why so sour, my little Uro berries? I haven't the slightest inclination to involve myself in a fracas with you.
Oh yeah? Then what are you doing here?
Dear, I am positively quaking in my boots. I am here to see my little Junebug, nothing more.
And you expect us to believe that?
You may set your hearts aflutter with whatever feelings you desire, for all I care. If I must confide in you a detail, I would like you to know that it was I who dealt those monsters a swift demise.
You?
I can confirm that. If it weren't for the console, we might not even be standing here.
Spark. If only I hadn't screwed up.
You're injured.
Yeah, my fault. I got cocky. Monsters got a free swipe in.
You may find it hard to believe, but I'm quite the assiduous type. I've been keeping a close watch on my fruitlings. But now that little Junebug has returned, there is yet more work to be done.
You're not angry about the flame clock?
Angry? You were the ones who broke it. You aren't going to apologize, are you? Besides, I've been aware of the circumstances for a while now. It has to be said, it's a delicate topic.
Delicate?
Yes, delicate. Do your ears need rinsing, Poppet? I don't know if you're aware, but the people of Tau themselves chose to break the clock. It's hardly my place to complain. I happen to be quite the individualist. Don't you know?
You're not making a lick of sense.
Now, Junebug, be a sweet pea and go on ahead, will you?
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Noah, we're just letting Juniper go?
Juniper said not to worry, so let's not worry.
That's the spirit. Perhaps you and I will be able to see eye to eye after all. Oh, one thing. I have a job for you, Uro Berries, if you would be so kind.
A job? For us?
For you. I'd like you to procure some twine turf. For me.
Yeah? What are you using it for?
Someone's got to remove those nuisances for new life to settle in. But preparations will need to be in place if we are to dispose of them, which is where the twine turf comes in.
Twine turf. I think I saw some of that in Yellow Grove.
Well, look at that. How fortuitous. That's a mere stone's throw from here.
Well, it's not far. That's true.
See? It wouldn't kill you to fetch some.
I know what you're thinking. But these things really are going to be a problem for us otherwise, so we'd really appreciate the help.
No, I understand. Let's go then.
So we start Survivors. Which, boy, there do be a lot. But I suppose for now I guess, just work with? Obviously, don't trust Mobius. They're Mobius, and they don't be Triton. And also the whole berries, bugs, plant stuff. Kinda creeping me out, lady. But whatever. Like we said, we'll trust Juniper. He's the one in charge. So we can just, I guess, yeah, I'll pick up the twine turf. Yeah, it's, we've had some more obviously evil ones, but like,
Man, finally.
you is really chaffing my biscuit.
You think this'll do?
Don't see why not.
I wonder how the console's going to use this stuff to get rid of the monsters.
I haven't a clue.
Everyone!
Juniper, are you alright?
Yes, and the colony is unharmed, thank goodness. Hey, Juniper, has your console always been like that? The console? I don't really recall.
You said she pretty much left you to it, right?
That's correct. The console rarely ever visits us. We've met a couple of times, but I barely have any recollection of us talking.
So why on Ionios would she start involving herself now?
I say we get this job done and then we give her a piece of our mind.
I mean, I don't really sense any hostility from it. Maybe it's fine.
But you have to admit, she's got a way of getting on your nerves, right?
Still, she is a consul. If we underestimate her, we'll no doubt be in for a world of pain.
Noted. But even if we do have to fight, it'd have to be outside of the colony.
Yeah. We don't know what she might be planning to do with the people of Colony Tau.
We should try to head back soon.
I mean, yeah, we just head back right now. We'll make it a nighttime one. I don't know, that just seems like a good idea.
I'll report into the console.
It appears to not be a console. Ma'am. Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Thank you.
Is that enough for you?
Wonderful, my dear Uroberries. Quite the speedy little workers, aren't you?
So, how are you going to use the stuff?
We're going to make it into a pulp and throw it into a bonfire. I hear it has the most fragrant aroma. No doubt the creatures will be drawn straight to it. A little assistance wouldn't go amiss. You.
Huh? Yes.
What a farce.
They're drawn to the scent, are they?
What is it, Tyon? You picked up on something?
Not exactly.
Oh, what is this? Oh, I do so hate the forest. What with all the bugs?
Right. Well, they do say that bugs hate smoke.
You know the type of insect I hate the most? The creepy, crawly kind. Oh, ghastly things. How about you?
Me? I've seen them all before. Can't say they bother me.
Oh. Such a tedious little corner of Ionios. Nothing much ever happens around here, does it?
No, not really. I'm kind of used to it by now, though.
Well, of course you would be. State the obvious. Why don't you?
Oh, right. Sorry, ma'am.
Now throw in the plants I gave you, and we should be all set for the preparatory phase.
Where are you going, ma'am?
Oh, you know. now, I thought I might witness a little of that Ouroberry magic for myself. The smoke rising from the bonfire acts like a signal flare to indicate the start of battle.
Yeah? What's that got to do with...
Crap! They're back! Again!
What?
Looks like you've got your work cut out for you. Oh yes, you had better live your lives to their very fullest.
What? These monsters! Don't ask me! They just showed up out of the blue and started heading this way!
These monsters aren't from the forest. Why would they have come in so far?
I have my hunches.
No point guessing right now. Let's send these guys packing.
You mean to tell me that Council U may not have had our best interests in mind? Perish the thought that Mobius would potentially not be good. Bit of a weird quest, but oh well. I mean, anytime you gotta trust Mobius, it's a little bit weird. But of course, you know, some Mobius are more trustworthy than others. Thank you, Triton. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe our hope is that we get Council U as a party member.
There's no end to him.
The appropriate tactic in this situation is fight first, whine later, mate.
Yeah, I know, man. Makes me feel better, though.
My dear, sweet little Junebug. I'll tell you what I'm trying to accomplish here. I want to see Colony Tau performing to the very best of their ability.
What?
I want them to wallow in regret, to agonize, tremble, suffer, rise, convulse, and then die. You see, the look on their faces at that moment is the most delectable thing in the world to me.
Consul, I don't understand.
All that you are, distilled at the cusp of death to a perfect fraction of unbearable humiliation. However, teetering there on the edge of oblivion is also the moment in which you shine the brightest. The terror of death flickering in your minds, fighting madly in the hope that you still might live. A newborn babe could never hope to match that expression of horror. Only the march of time can crystallize those grimaces of wrath and agony, aged to perfection like a fine wine.
They're coming our way, too.
Huh, never a dull moment around here.
Come now, Junebug. Chin up. I want to see you at the peak of your brilliance. I can't savor your emotions if you don't ripen to your fullest now, can I?
Personally, I vote we just turn around and shoot you in the face. But, you know what? That's fine. We'll just deal with it, I suppose. Ow. I mean, it's not gonna be too terribly difficult. We're, what's that, 14 levels higher? Yeah. Maybe we're a little overleveled for this, sure. But also, I don't see a problem. Whatever, it's fine. Keep bish bash bosh. Yep, here's the bish, there's the bash. Oh, we gotta bosh you. There we are.
Are we snuffed then? Is this it for us?
Stay calm. There's still a glimmer of hope. There aren't as many monsters as before. It's doable. Keep pushing them back.
We'll try.
Uroberries are a force to be reckoned with, aren't they? I hadn't factored them in, but I did get a taste of fear and despair, and for that I'm truly grateful. You must have felt such sweet relief when they broke the flame clock. How does it feel to have all that taken away from you? You'd better pick up the pace, or my little monsters will flock to you like a free meal.
It's the smoke. Put out the fire. Stop the smoke.
Oh, I think it's a little late for that.
I had my doubts, but I never thought you were so brazen as to do this openly.
When you crush and burn those plants, they make the most irresistible aroma for monsters.
So you lied about getting rid of them?
I said that nuisances had to be removed. Who said anything about monsters? I was hoping to remove everyone save little Junebug here, and make way for new growth in the forest.
You don't have to spout a load of shite, you know that?
I was hoping to see them savaged by hungry beasts, but oh well. Your efforts have managed to ruin a perfectly good tragedy. Again.
Again?
Did I not mention? Not a few days ago, I recall that you intervened. I was hoping to cull some fruitlings before their homecoming.
Ah! The monsters from before!
Yes, that's it. That's the way. It's the monsters that you encountered on that fateful day. The very same. Yes, I led them there myself. If they had feasted on your husks, I could have thrown them into the colony and given you such a fright.
Why? Why would you think of doing such an awful thing?
I took you to be smarter than this, Junebug. Be a dear and fire up those synapses for me. Colony Tower was ready to accept their fate. I settled on the monsters as the best way to deal with that. I thought perhaps if you were to see your friends torn apart before your very eyes, it might give you the stimulus you need.
You're beyond help.
When the flame clock was destroyed, and you were given the chance to live, you also came to fear death, and gained the ability to suffer, as you are doing right now. You've done well, my little Uroberries. Yes, indeed. The look on your faces is not something so easily reproduced. Ah, how long I've waited just to see those contortions. The perfect moment. Once matured, then savored. I'll not let you die easily. I shall see to that.
You consoles are all the same, aren't you? How can you toy with people's lives like this? You think this is fun?
Oh, I just love teasing my favorite playthings. Is that really so difficult to understand? Well, it's been lovely talking to you, but I'm afraid time's getting on. If you despise me so much, slay my little pets and try taking me on yourselves.
See, the whole, like, fear of death thing kind of doesn't work as well when we're 14 levels higher than the enemies. So, kind of ruins the moment. Although, that said, when we initially met up with Juniper and Colony Tau, we did get our asses kicked by those Rhinons. So, maybe you has a point. Just maybe, though. It's, well, yeah, I mean, sure, I guess. Not the greatest.
My, you really defeated them? All of them? Well, you're nothing if not tenacious.
If you stay away from our colony without interfering, just as you always have, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones.
Without interfering? You really are a model child, aren't you? I told you, I consider myself the assiduous type. Why do you think that so few make it to homecoming in this pit that none know about or care about? Why do you think there are few threats to your colony, yet your flame clock teeters on the brink of collapse?
Well...
Let me explain it to you in simple terms that even you will be able to understand. I made it that way. It was by my design.
What?
You really are the lowest of the low!
I had the soldiers die when approaching their final term. I conceived your peculiar traditions, and I sent monsters to you. And when your numbers were culled just enough to maintain the colony, I sent you new recruits. When you lacked a source of life with which to fill the clock, I placed monsters of adequate strength for your succor. And it has all been for this moment. Ah, the length I went to, just for today.
I cannot begin to understand you.
Countless hours of painstaking effort went into this, but I am so very glad to have met a soul like yourself, little Junebug. Even your rage brings me delight. The fact that you want to kill me where I stand, even more rapturous. I shall contort your face into an expression of pure agony. I shall tear down all that you are!
The people of Colony Tau have been fighting just to survive day to day. We won't allow you to have your way anymore. This ends here.
Yes. Yes, I suppose you're right. My actions are unforgivable. Come then, do your worst. If you don't kill me now...
You'll have to watch as I slaughter your precious colony Tau before your very eyes!
I like the headcanon of you thinking that she's super smart, but she's just really, really dumb. Because this is not a great plan. As much as I do like Juniper and Colony Tau and even the Stalker class, this is kind of a weak Ascension quest, just story-wise. I mean, level-wise too, for where we're at, but like, mainly story-wise. It's just, yeah, Yu's plan doesn't really make all that much sense, and she herself doesn't really make that much sense, but yeah, well, like a lot of this does feel a little bit contrived. And I will still defend stuff with Stalker and Juniper and Tau. But this is a bad quest. Straight up, this is not a good quest. Honestly, we might be able to already get Radiant Cascade already. Let's just right away get the damage buff. Let's bop that. And then might be able to. Here. I want the high crit rate. No, not quite. If I was all the way at 99, then I would have been able to, but I wasn't. That's fine. Then let's go. I think we're mostly Ether defenders right now. Ether classes. Bop bop. They don't really do much. We can go with... We break with you? Nope. 68. As is perfectly gets it, so... Just use the worst class in the game. Okay. That is... As much as I don't like the Thaumaturge, somehow it's not the worst class in the game. And I'm not even talking Stalker. Well, the next Ascension quest we do, you'll see. But oh boy, are there some bad classes in this game. Let's go with... I would like if we could break. I won't be able to. In that case, I guess we just pierce. Get the no block TP bonus. And then... Can we break this time? Finally. Only took like 7 attempts. More than that. Yeah, actually, 5 I think. 4 or 5. Point is, it took a while. Gets us... Really? That's so unfortunate. It's highly, highly unfortunate. Ah well. I think pretty much any other combination we would have gotten away with, but... Sometimes you just get 2 healers. Oh well, we toppled them at least. We did 506k, which is not bad for sure. But still disappointing. Yeah, well. I mean, this is not a difficult fight at all for us. And again, sure, we are overleveled, that's entirely true. But also, this is still, like, not a very difficult fight. I believe you mostly focuses on poison. Which, like, is not that great. Like, again, you is probably one of the most underwhelming Mobius members. Jay, that we fought in Uni's side story, is also a little bit disappointing. But, like, still, there's a lot of disappointment in you. Somehow... What? No, not J. L. J is Yorin. Yeah, somehow... You is probably more disappointing than a character who literally never speaks. But, whatever. You is dead. Poor grammar, but... If it was closer level, I might chain attack, but I'm already pretty over-leveled, so...
Well, then, it looks like it's my loss. You've such power, my Ouroboros.
Consul you.
Oh, yes. Now that right there is the face I wanted to see. I'm afraid I won't be dying here alone. I'm going to kill off all your dear sweet friends, one by one. You will remember exactly how they died, and you will regret it every waking moment. Cursing your own ineptitude, wishing you'd done more. Avenged though they were, aimless anger will consume you. How very exquisite the look on your face will be then.
She's lost the plot. Big time.
This was our victory. You don't need to listen to this.
Colony Tau,
What about them?
we made a promise that we'd survive. And so, the console's twisted games are something I cannot entertain.
Juniper. So you really can make a face like that too.
And now I must wonder, did I do the right thing in the end?
I think that's what life is all about. Searching to find that answer.
Yes, how true.
Thanks. Yet again. Feels like you're always saving our bacon.
Now, none of that. We're all mates now, remember?
Yeah, Lance is right. We're all in this together.
Juniper, what's wrong? Life is cruel, isn't it? Just when I stopped waiting for death and began to live for myself, why must it be so hard? It's just as the console said, expecting death would have been so much easier. You're not wrong. It's not easy. And it never will be.
Sure, but it's still a sight better than doing sparkle and giving up.
That's also true. You're right. Life is a struggle, but I think I'd like to go on fighting for a little while longer at least.
Nah, you've got to dream bigger. Fight until the bitter end!
Perhaps I should. Even without a console, our goal remains the same.
That's right. And we've got to start by harvesting the crops.
Right, yes. We have our hands full as it is trying to look after ourselves right now.
Sure. Well, if you ever find yourself having a hard time, we'll be there to help.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, and see you soon.
And so, we complete Survivors. Colony Tau's strange modus vivendi was shown to be their console's design. The whole affair has once again reminded Juniper of life's harshness. Gets the Stalker up in level. Wait, is there? There dead? Yeah, I thought there was. It's just Carson? Probably was. But yeah, that's the Stalker brought up in level. So, it's time to go for our overview of Stalker. Starting with the class of multipliers. I have to remember to first this time. 0.7 HP, 1.1 attack, 0.25 healing, 1.3 dex, and 1.3 agility, and then 15 on both defenses. As for its skills, Swift Death deals extra damage to enemies that are low health, goes from 50, 55, 60, 65, and finally 70 at level 20. In Cold Blood does extra damage to enemies suffering from bleed, 75, 85, 100, 120, and 150. Evasion Expertise is a chance to evade range attacks from 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. And Serene Heart reduces aggro generated from attacks by 25, 35, 40, 45, and 50%. Going into the arts now. Landslide deals extra damage to launched enemies and evades while using. Has a recharge of 6 to from 7 to 6 at 10, and 4 at level 15. Has a launch bonus of 10, 100, 120 at 10, and 150 at 20, 225, 265, 295, 340, and 390. Staying power gives the art follow-up effect. In a field, art follow-up is 200% of the user's attack power dealt to enemy whenever anyone in the field uses an art. It has a recharge of 4 to 3 at level 15, and the small, medium, large range, as most fields are. Driving Arrow inflicts bleed when attacking from behind. Bleed is 4% of the art's damage every 2 seconds, for I believe it is 30 seconds. It is always 3 hits for a recharge, 135, 145, 160, 175, and 200. Rapid Shot increases damages from the side, goes from 8 to 7 at level 10, 6 and 5, side bonus of 100 to 120 at 10, and 150, and finally, a power multiplier of 355, 390, 425, 470, and 520. Night Hunt boosts damage done from behind and reduces the aggro drawn when attacking. Is an increased back damage by 30% and lowers aggro by 50%. Only thing that changes is the recharge, which is 12, 11, 10, 9, and finally 8. Talent art is Refreshing Rain, which deals more damage to low health enemies. Has a bonus of 50 to 7 at 10 and 100, and a power multiplier of 500, 540, 560, 640, and 580, 640, 700. I just mistyped there. It is one of the arts that does have a little bit of a difference in the same name. It is 9 hits for Ouroboros, while Juniper alone does 14 hits. As for her specifically, Downdraft is just driving arrow, Force of Nature, is renamed Staying Power, and Liberation Arrow replaces Rapid Shot and has a higher damage multiplier, going from 490 to 600. As for Juniper herself, she has a TP of 25. Her chain effect boosts damage ratio by 50, and her chain order is Radiant Cascade, which will boost damage to low HP enemies, 60, 70, 80, 90, and finally 100% extra damage. I personally really like the Stalker. I rate it a lot higher than others. It's not the best class, even I can admit that, but it has some problems with it for sure. It's reliant on debuffs, which, just with the game, the way that the game works is a little bit unfortunate. Just debuff resistance ends up being really high, which is a bit of a shame. And it has other things that it can do, but that's the problem. It tries to do a few too many things that it ends up not succeeding at really anything. It's focused on dealing damage to low HP enemies, which is fine, but by then the battle's almost over usually, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not really getting buffs most of the time because it relies on the low HP or inflicting bleed, which again, it's reliant on debuffs. It can inflict bleed pretty well, and I do like bleed and blaze both as statuses. So yeah. Art follow-up I actually really like. It's very similar to the way that the reason I like Yumsmith, in that it's a very simple, it's consistent damage. It's not much, but it's continued chip just for being in this field. And I mean, it's a potential large field, which is not bad. But yeah, it's really the right spot. It's some decent consistent damage, and really whenever you can get bleed, you can do a lot of damage, and it tries to get enemies to that low HP point quickly, and then take advantage from there, but again, the problem is just it struggles with doing that. Juniper herself is a pretty basic hero. Simple effects. Her chain effect, I like. Boosting damage ratio just by a flat 50 is really good. I think she is the hero that you have the second highest potential for damage multiplier on, beside from Fiona, because she can add in an entire new gauge, which is tremendous. Her chain order isn't super relevant. I guess you're against super bosses, which by that point you'd probably want a different hero for a different class, because again, it's focused on low HP and debuffs, which, if you want the low HP to be relevant, you'll have a lot of people who resist debuffs. If you want the debuffs to be relevant, you won't be dealing with the low HP. It's a class that's just in the middle, that it tries to wear multiple hats and ends up just kind of wearing none of them well. But again, I still really like the Stalker class, so I am more than happy with being able to keep using Stalker. And I also really like Juniper. But that'll do it for this time, and next time, looks like we have more stuff to do in Colony Tau, but until then, see you guys later!